And again, we are back with reporter Darren McBreen. Darren, I like the fact in there that you show the Flintstones promoting cigarettes and telling everybody it's good for them. You know, kids, this is really going to be healthy for you back in the 50s. And then now, oh, aspartame for kids. This is good again. I mean, they knew 100 years ago cigarettes were tied to cancer. And until recently, it was a conspiracy theory to say so, but their own documents show that they know full well. And it's the same thing with aspartame. I mean, it's admitted that it breaks down into wood alcohol, formaldehyde in the body. Everybody knows bathtub gin causes blindness. I've talked to friends and family and medical doctors. When they tell people to go off of this incrementally, they have serious withdrawal symptoms. I mean, this is a drug. There's a reason they got this approved. This is made at big pharma laboratories.
Well, it's addicting, you know. And at first it starts, you know, not many people will get a headache and say, damn it, I shouldn't have drank that Diet Coke a half hour ago. They don't realize that it was a Diet Coke that gave them a headache. And it's also addicting. How many people do you know that are addicted? They have to have a diet soda every day. Oh,
they carry it around with them like it's alcohol or something. Yeah. Shifting gears, another area, and I'd always heard this. I went and looked it up. The Japanese military in World War I, when they were on the side of the West at that time, they were on the Axis side in World War II, they were basically feeding rotten canned food to their troops. And they wouldn't eat it because the Japanese, you know, were into like cuisine, like the French. Even their tough troops wouldn't. They developed this artificial salt, MSG, that'll make a dead rat taste like pumpkin pie, and they put it on there. Well, Colonel Sanders, by the 20s, had discovered that, and by the 30s, rolled it out. And that's why people love that chicken so much. But it turns out it's an excitotoxin and causes brain damage and is addicting and makes you eat more. So that's why they put it in. So basically, we have all these 40 and 60 and 80 and 100-year-old technologies that are really drugs that are grandfathered in to be able to be put in our food.
That's right. And aspartame is an excitotoxin, like you said. And you know what I thought was interesting when I did the research for this piece, we were talking about the tobacco industry and the comparison between tobacco and aspartame. What was the vintage commercials? You know, we're talking about the Flintstones ad, but not only did they make smoking look cool, but they almost made it look healthy. You know?
Oh, no, there's ads where they say, ask your doctor, having a sore throat, smoke a Camel, or walk a mile, or feeling down.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I noticed during the early 80s, same thing with the aspartame company. They made it look healthy, the way the propaganda machine worked. It looked like, you showed ads from 81 when it got approved, and it was flashbacks. I remember from Coke Is It, and all of those ads. Why out of the gates, if they didn't think that there was a health problem, there wasn't even a controversy yet, would it all be about being healthy? Everybody's trying it, and it's good. Well, and that's why I think it's important that we look at the, we're about to see a side-by-side comparison where I show the tobacco industry, then it followed by the aspartame industry. Clearly, cigarettes are bad for you, and then you could see that the aspartame industry was trying to do the same thing here.
You're being a conspiracy theorist. The media told me cigarettes are good for me.
Yeah.
And so aspartame must be good, too. I mean, they say mercury's good in the vaccines. I've got newscasts saying that.
I've heard it. Yeah.
They say it's good for children's brains.
Yeah, yeah.
And there it is, Flintstones and all the other gums. Let's go to that side-by-side comparison.
Let's take a Winston break. That's it. Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend.
The Flintstones has been brought to you by Winston, America's best-selling, best-tasting filter cigarette.
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
In a repeated national survey, doctors in all branches of medicine, doctors in all parts of the country were asked, "What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?" Once again, the brand named most was Camel. Yes, according to this repeated nationwide survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. Why not change to Camels for the next 30 days and see what a difference it makes in your smoking enjoyment? See how Camels agree with your throat. See how mild and good tasting a cigarette can be.
Last year, over 2 million people got something of a surprise in the mail. Their first taste of NutraSweet. And of all things, a gumbo. What's NutraSweet? It's a sweetening ingredient that isn't fattening. A sweetening ingredient that isn't artificial like saccharin. Isn't bad for your teeth. Tastes just like sugar. And sounds just too good to be true.
Banana plants don't make NutraSweet. Neither do cows. But they might as well. If you've had bananas and milk, you've eaten what's in NutraSweet. It's made from things like those found naturally in good things to eat, like 2 building blocks of protein. Nature doesn't make NutraSweet, but NutraSweet couldn't be made without it. NutraSweet brand sweetener. Just look for the swirl.
Devastating information. Darren is not just a great reporter. He's a great video editor and researcher. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine if they would have said in 1965, the Pentagon Bioweapons Division trying to create a bioweapon, developed the first genetically created super clone E. coli bacteria. It was able to eat through different toxic substances fed to it in giant black vats of deadly poison. The excrement of these bacteria is then fed to your children. No, it's like, oh, it's not exactly natural, but it comes from natural things. I mean, you cannot make up the craziness of this. And it's like, doctors are enjoying it. It's so healthy. Oh, and it shows the beautiful woman smoking it. You know, my grandma, who basically ended up dying from lung cancer, she looked like that. She was more beautiful than that woman. And I was there when they cut her lung out, and then she lived another decade of excruciating pain and nerve problems and heart problems. Her face got paralyzed. Oh, but I'm a conspiracy theorist. The cigarettes were good because the majority of doctors say it's the one to go with. And now your doctor says aspartame. Your doctor says fluoride. No, your doctor doesn't. The American Medical Association, a bunch of eugenicists at the top who know what they're doing and who are poisoning you and suppressing real treatments and cures are the ones saying that. The majority of doctors have now woken up that sodium fluoride's bad and are testifying. That's why they're pulling it out in all these cities, so the feds are coming in financing legislative movements in states to try to forcefully medicate you. And as bad as aspartame is, it ain't got nothing on fluoride. Oh, man, I am so angry. Darren, I mean, that is incredible. I hope people get this report and get it out to 10 million people. It's up to the viewers out there, though, the PrisonPlanet.tv folks, to get it, upload it to YouTube, get it out to everybody, because that is devastating.
Well, and the message here is not only is aspartame bad, but the FDA as well. They are corrupt. They've been compromised.
Well, it's all full of Monsanto people. And
that's right.
I mean, Monsanto brought you this.
That's right. So don't trust them.
Well, I mean, look, it shows a little kid. It's the same thing in bananas and milk. Not exactly natural, but it's good. We're not going to tell you where it came from.
Some of the ads I didn't show, just, you know, obviously didn't have time to do everything, but, you know, it was the responsible mother, you know, who's got kids and she's making breakfast. She doesn't want to give them all that sugar and sugar in the coffee, so you got to have that artificial sweetener.
You know, I see these poor self-propelled stomachs who are like 500 pounds or who get their arms and legs cut off at bus stops from diabetes, and I go over to them and they go, I don't know, I don't eat very much, but I got my aspartame. It actually makes you hungrier. I've had medical doctors on. It fries your pancreas. It's one of the main reasons that that diabetes is off the chart.
And it stimulates your brain too. It messes with your head.
Well, next you're going to tell me cigarettes affect the brain. I mean, come on. What about all the chemicals they got caught adding to cigarettes?
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is stuff that we know now, but back in the day, you know, I mean, people, you know, wasn't let out. So now that's what we're trying to do now is inform everyone.
Darren, we're going to obviously have this here for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers, but I want you to, as soon as this show's aired, get this whole report together we've done here, your man on the street and the later report together, and we've got to get this up to YouTube and just pray that people get it out to millions. I mean, this is saving people's lives. Yeah. I don't want to get into personal stuff, but I had family having health problems who got off aspartame, and they're like, this is magic. First, it was hell to get off of it for a month, and then they lose weight, they get healthy. I mean, to know these sinister bastards are doing this to people, it's a life and death situation. It's up to you to get this out. Great job, Darren.
Thank you.
It's good to have you on the team. And by the way, soon we're going to announce a nationwide contest to find more reporters. We may hire one or two, definitely one, and from all over the country. And we're getting our new video editors, building up our crew here, thanks to you supporting us, the subscribers at prisonplanet.tv. And today is the last day into tomorrow to get 44% off a yearly membership. You can always get a 15-day free trial at prisonplanet.tv. We're fighting the construction of this prison planet. Okay, that's it for this extensive edition of InfoWars Nightly News. God bless you all. We'll see you back, Lord willing, tomorrow. I want to close out, though, with a quote by Nobel Prize-winning economist Milton Friedman. And he said, this is one of the books he wrote, you can look it up, the Federal Reserve definitely caused the Great Depression by contracting the amount of currency in circulation by 1/3 from 29 to 33, Milton Friedman. So that's why they've now decided, people that basically follow his school, that, well, not death by having the currency turned off, but death by having it turned up, QE3 hyperinflated, which is just as bad in the long run. But again, we'll cover that more tomorrow night. I'm Alex Jones signing off.